Good afternoon, yet again. Yeah, you know, one of these days we're going to start with these things and be like, good morning.
No, we're not.
It'd be cool.
No.
Get all coffeeed up.
No.
Good morning. Morning from the Swinner Group, World Headquarters, St. Louis, Missouri. I'm Ken Bogeman, Zach Frame, Brent Reeder, under control.
That's a lot more better.
That's a lot more better.
That sounded.
It did.
It was very fluid.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Zach Frame, Brent Reeder.
Yes.
You guys have got majestic sounding names.
With a K.
A K?
But yeah, my name's constantly misspelled.
Well, that's what you get
the
for having
Zach
a name
part.
that can be spelled two different ways.
Well, blame Grandma.
What's weird is when it shows up as like Mary Frame.
Mary?
Yeah.
Who the hell's that?
I don't know. You spelled wrong. It's Zach, just spelled wrong.
Zach spelled M-A-R-Y. I'm
No?
going to try this.
Missed
you
it
go.
by just a little bit.
Just a bit outside. You know, I went to the DMV yesterday, and it was a pleasant experience.
What?
Yeah.
Did you finally get your license done?
My license. What?
Isn't that what you go to the DMV for?
No, this is for so we've on the boat. We got an old boat. It's been sitting in the barn for a long time, and I noticed that the registration had expired years ago, and it's been sitting there for a long time, right? And I'm like, huh.
If only they sent you these reminder cards saying it's coming up.
Now I'm not saying they did or didn't.
I don't always get those.
But I'm saying it was expired. So I climbed up over the side of the boat and then got the little registration paperwork out of there. And I'm like, well, maybe this will be enough. I went to the DMV and I'm walking in with this singular piece of paper and my wallet. I'm like, there's no chance this is going to work. So I put my name in. I'm hanging out. I'm waiting, right? And they call up and I come up and she's like, what can I do for you? I said, well, probably nothing, but maybe tell me what I need. I'm hoping that I can give you this piece of paper that's got a bunch of stuff on my boat and maybe some money, and I'll leave here with registration stickers. She goes, oh, well, there's always money involved. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's me, no problem at all. And like 35 seconds later, I was walking out with new stickers for $66.
You know, most people would have just called ahead and asked, what do I need to bring?
Oh, no, you don't call the DMV.
That's true.
I always do.
That never works for me.
What?
Yeah.
What DMV do you go to?
Anything down in Jefferson County.
Yeah, well, he lives 100 miles outside of
I
town.
forgot about that.
Yeah,
In fact, I don't even wait.
Like the phone rings and some kid comes running inside from playing with the cows.
Right.
Hello.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
Jealousy is just
was really funny.
pouring out.
It is.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Okay, yeah. So, yeah.
I love pulling the little number out of the red dispenser and then sitting next to a random stranger that kind of smells like milk.
Milk.
And he's playing on his phone. He's watching videos at full volume right next to your head.
You know, I'm going to tell you, I've never experienced sitting down next to me and God, it smells like milk.
That's a Lime problem, I think.
Like, yeah.
That might be.
Wow. I mean, like ashtrays and onions every now and again, but
No, this was milk.
It's a very disturbing reference. I don't know why.
yeah, that's bad, dude. It's a little rough, but that's all right. So, hey, so you know what we're going to talk about today?
I forgot.
I know. That's why I have it written down over here.
I'm glad you do.
Yep. No. So the last episode we talked about your equipment, right? It's like when to buy equipment. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And how to
talk about when to sell it.
That's right. So when is the right time to get rid of your stuff?
Or scrap it. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to scrap it.
That's when you've made the most out of your stuff.
That's right. That's that 10-year plow for $100 that we were talking about.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Exactly. So
Man, if you're only getting 10 years out of your plow, though, it's pretty rough.
yeah. Yeah, plows can last a really, really, really long time.
Like that customer of ours that's got the full stainless plow.
Well, that dude built it himself.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think that thing weighs?
Nothing.
What?
I'm kidding. It's really heavy.
It looks like it weighs about 1 billion pounds.
It's pretty close to that.
Probably at least 1,000.
Well,
It's just a straight blade.
yeah, that's fair, but it's heavy.
Mega heavy.
Yeah. Oh, and he can hit whatever he wants.
All of it.
Yeah, he cut a tank
Maybe
in
you
half
need
and
to
put it
give
on for the cutting edge.
Right.
A description for people.
Zach, have at it.
It's just a Fisher minute mount, like the original minute mount that's completely made out of stainless steel. Headgear, everything is stainless steel.
It no longer is a Fisher. It just mimics the design.
It mimics the design.
With
yeah.
a 1-inch thick cutting edge.
1 inch thick cutting edge.
That's probably some type of AR 400 or 500 steel.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing's built to last.
Well, you know what? There's a dude that's never going to have to sell that plow.
No, and he doesn't want to.
Anyway,
I've tried.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's probably got $15,000 in stainless steel.
Well, I thought if nothing else, it'd be a good conversation point for people to, talk
Oh,
about,
that's-
come in and ask questions and stuff like that. But
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
he was not having it. Not even a little bit. So as far as getting rid of your equipment, is that you want something new? That could be a time.
It can be. It
You
can
know,
be. Yeah.
You want something new, maybe a little bit more efficient.
So now you're talking about an emotional purchase as opposed to a financial one.
Right.
Right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, we've all made those.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember college?
Yeah. Not really.
Lots of bad decisions. Yeah, it's fine. So, yeah, man. So, okay. So, yeah. So let's say, let's take the emotional component out of it.
All right, we're going to
All
get
right.
rid of that.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, you can use a spreadsheet to justify just about anything. If you want something new,
I have witnessed this.
Yeah, we all have.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like here?
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Yes.
Name one thing.
We live by the spreadsheet. What do you mean?
One?
Yeah, and it's one thing that we really shouldn't have bought, but we did because the spreadsheet said we should.
I'll point to 4 that are orange in the backyard right now.
Hey, man, those things someday are going to be perfect.
They are getting very close.
You know, we have less in each of those things than we would have if we'd have bought something else.
That was in your spreadsheet.
Sure was. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe
You know what was even less than that?
I missed
Brett's
some
gonna know
stuff. What's that?
Nothing. Bought nothing. You'd have had even less invested.
Well, but we'd have also made less money.
Yep.
Yeah,
I bet.
maybe
I
not.
bet you could spreadsheet that too.
Okay, fair. So, beyond our own mistakes, shall we discuss?
With growth comes learning
Oh, yeah,
opportunities.
that's true. That's true.
You know?
You know what? The trip to get him was fun though,
Yeah, I wasn't invited.
because you had to get on an airplane.
And you had to have a CDL.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
So there's 2.
yeah, that's fair.
Flying, CDL,
I would have rode my Harley up there and throw it in the back of the truck and drove it back.
near-death experiences is what you missed out on.
What? There was nothing even remotely shady about that. I mean, just because your feet almost caught on fire.
And pure exhaust getting dumped in the cab. It was fine.
Well, you roll down the windows. It's fine.
Truck driver life, Brent.
Man,
But let's be clear.
says the office guy. I mean,
Let's be clear. The floor was so hot I couldn't touch it with my feet.
With boots on.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had boots on. Right?
I don't remember. But you could no longer keep your feet on the floor. Cruise control and put them up high.
it was exciting. I got to drive the last 30 miles with no air,
Yeah, I remember.
which was like pulling into the yard with that thing revved as high as I could get it, just so the brakes would stay open enough I could pull in. That was okay.
So, yeah,
so
let's,
not all
get rid of
decisions are good.
emotion.
So not all decisions are good. That's fine. But so some things that you do need to consider though is when to get rid of stuff, because you know what those 4 trucks are doing?
Costing money.
Not anymore. We've spent it all. They work just fine now. Now that they're here and they're running. In fact, one of them just backed in a minute ago, if you didn't notice it. So now the question is when to get rid of stuff, because that's what we're talking
Sorry,
about.
that might be the single best one-liner.
It was. It was.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was perfect.
Shut up, Nicole.
man.
Nicole's just over there with this look like, yeah, Ken's an idiot. It's fine.
Oh.
So the question being, when do you get rid of equipment?
When it stops making you money.
That's one reason.
You look like you were fishing for something else.
No, maybe I've got a few notes here.
You made notes?
Yeah, in our show prep sheet. Way to do your homework, dude. Man. You know what? The 4 people that listen to this thing are really disappointed right now.
No, they're not. They are laughing their butts off.
You're probably right. Okay. So, yeah. So one of the things to look at is your depreciation schedule, which talk with your accountant about that. Are you okay?
What if you don't have an accountant?
Well, you should. I'm going to tell you get one, because if you own a business with assets and you're not taking any depreciation on those things, you should. And if you don't know what that means, find an accountant, pay them whatever they say that they want, and have them save you a bunch of money.
Well, there's probably people listening to this.
That's right.
Out of those 4 guys, there's 2 that aren't currently using an accountant.
Fair.
So it's a good thing to bring up.
So that's something to look at. Well, yeah, but see, okay, so here's the issue with that. The reason why I can't really get into details on it is because I don't know anything about it.
That's fine.
That's what Nicole and Jim
But
are
your
for.
advice would be to get an accountant.
to talk to somebody that understands how depreciation works and what that looks like, so you can save some money on taxes.
There you go.
So yeah, so that's something to look at. But talk with your accountant about that. So your accountant may have some scheduling in there where you can say, okay, if you buy something that's within this certain bracket of cost, then you want to flip it or get rid of it or replace it after so many years. So that's something to take up with your accountant.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yep. So do that. The other thing to look at is what is that piece of equipment costing you just to sit there and do nothing? So this is sort of an interesting exercise. So you may say, okay, I need to have 4 trucks because 2 of them are, I need 2 trucks to do the job, but I can't afford really nice trucks. Mm-hmm. So I got to have some backups for these other 2 trucks in case they break. So then you got 2 backup trucks that sit there and may never ever get used. Mm-hmm. Do the math on what it costs you to have those trucks. So the insurance to have them, registration, personal property tax, the fuel you got to have in it, the basic PMs you're going to have. I mean, you're going to do, hopefully you're going to do at least an oil change every year.
I would hope.
You're going to, probably stick a battery in it, maybe, maybe 2.
Maybe several.
Yeah, so actually look at what that maintenance cost is on that piece of equipment and the ancillary overhead costs of having it sitting there, and then do the math on, well, is that worth it? If I have to have 4 trucks hanging around as backups, well, maybe it makes sense to get rid of them and have one that does the job that
One
you can
nice
rely
one
on. That you can rely on.
Reliable, yeah.
Yeah. Take a look at, and so that might be a decision to get rid of some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it could be a justification of why you're keeping the older equipment too.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because if that truck or whatever it might be isn't costing near what it would cost for what is a $900 truck payment for a new one right now?
Yeah.
Probably more.
Yeah.
So if that's a huge gap there, then well, if I can keep this old thing going for a little bit longer, it might be worth my time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we've got the L8000, which this is the year that it's going to go away. I don't know if that's so much a womp. That wasn't really it.
No.
I guess it is kind of sad though.
I love
Is
that
that a
truck.
94 or 91?
94.
It's a 94
that
Ford
truck.
L8000. And you know what? We could go out
Would
there.
you like to buy it?
Right.
Yeah.
He might.
Yeah, what am I going to do with that?
I don't know. Drive it.
Could that be my company vehicle?
After
You pay for
it.
fuel. What? If you pay for the fuel, yes.
Oh my God.
You know what though? You can go out. That sucker will start every single time.
Oh yeah, first bump of the key.
Yeah, I mean that truck is so friggin' solid, and it's old, but it's been taken care of really well. Mm-hmm. It runs really, really well. I would trust that truck absolutely. The only issue, it just doesn't get used much,
Right.
because it's a 94. So when the guys go out to climb in a truck, you know what the last one is they get in?
The 94.
The 94. Yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
But sitting there, it's a commercial vehicle. I mean, insurance is expensive, taxes are expensive. I mean, you gotta keep all that on those things. So it just makes more sense for that to go away.
Yeah.
So what we did is we took a look at what the cost was to have that equipment, right? So we add up all that ancillary overhead costs. So whether before that truck even works 1 hour, what's it going to cost us to keep, right? And then we took that number and said, okay, well, what would it take to subcontract what that truck does? How many hours would need to be worked? And then, that turns into how many events would we need to do just to break even on the maintenance and overhead costs of having that truck. And it turns out that, I mean, until we get to an average year, really, it doesn't make any sense even to have the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's convenient and it's kind of cool saying we got a bunch of trucks, but beyond that, dollars and cents, it doesn't make any sense to keep it.
Yeah.
So off it's going to go. So if anybody's looking for a 94 L8000 flatbed
That still has air conditioning.
that works.
You're welcome.
Yep. Now the heater, on the other hand, you have to work 7 switches and tickle it just
It's
right.
just one switch.
So, but no. So yeah, I mean that's something to consider is, what are the costs of having that equipment, right?
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
depressed now.
What?
I love that truck.
It's a good truck.
I know. Really good truck. If you guys want information on that truck, go ahead and email podcast@swinnergroup.com. I'll send you some information on it. And I'll keep you close because I want to know where that truck goes.
Yeah, that's fair.
We will also share some personal stories for a little extra.
Yeah, sure.
You got to pay extra for that, Cotton?
Yep.
Wow. What kind of stories? Or now I'm curious.
Nope, you got to pay for that.
That is true. Winter's been rough, dude.
1-900 Zach Frame.
Yeah, right.
Yep. All right. So then, another thing to consider, and that's something else this day and age, is operator availability, right?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
You may have 25 trucks, but if you've only got 10 operators, well, maybe you don't need all the trucks.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yep. And you know what then it would be time for? Remote control plowing.
Oh, stop it.
Roboticized snow removal equipment.
It's coming.
You know what? You know what just happened there?
Our battery technology isn't there yet.
No? It could be, though.
It
You know what we just
doesn't have
did?
anything to do with that.
It does. It has everything to do with that.
this is going to be a good argument in the next episode of Talking Winter with Swinter, where we discuss the pros and cons of roboticized snow removal equipment. It's going to be awesome.
I'm spooked out.
It's going to be awesome. Anyway, until then, I'm Ken Bogeman. Got Zach Frame, Brent Reeder here, Talking Winter with Swinter. We really appreciate you stopping by. Slide on over, check us out at Swinter Snow Talk on Twitter. Send us don't send us a follow, but follow us. If you're number 15, we're going to send you some stuff for free. Just getting it started. Thanks. See ya. Good evening. Is it evening yet?
Good evening.
I guess it's not evening technically. That's fine. Here we are, talking winter with Swinter from Swinter Group, St. Louis, Missouri. I am Ken Bogeman. Brent Reeder, Zach Frame, joining us here, recording live. Reverb. Here we are.
I didn't hear the reverb that much that time.
That's because I said reverb over the reverb. It was kind of dumb. It's my own fault.
The longer we record, the more like lean back in the chair we get. The mics get closer.
Yeah.
The energy is very relaxed.
It is very relaxed.
Yeah,
we should do an entire day of podcasts.
Oh boy.
Like and maybe just start talking and go. Because we can pull it off.
Talking and go? Just talking?
Just talk. I mean, who knows what could happen?
Oh man.
Yeah.
That could be a thing.
Could be a thing.
Yeah.
We could just call people, be like, hey, you want to be a guest? And they're like, no. And they're like, yeah, fine. Guess what? You're on
We
it
haven't
anyway.
had a guest since Tim Greenwood, right?
You know what? You're right.
I think Tim Greenwood was our last guest.
Should we do more
Wasn't
guests?
he our only guest?
No,
we had Rich.
We also,
What's his name?
Rich? What?
I'm sorry, Snow Power guy? Rick?
That's Rick.
Rick.
So I don't think Rick was an actual guest, though. We just did a
No.
tour there.
Oh.
But we did Wade from Daniels. Wade was on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Everybody else is like, how many people you got listening to that thing? I'm like, well, Twitter, we got 3 followers. And like, seriously?
There's no way to truly tell how many listeners this podcast gets.
You know what? That's true. But you know what we do have? We do have some analytics, though.
Yeah, but those aren't accurate.
No, because there's no way to really tell.
No, there's not.
Like, because it's not like when you subscribe, you you're not paying us for it, which, I mean,
Right.
if you wanted to,
That'd be fine.
that would be cool. We could figure that out. I mean, we could figure that out.
Right.
But it does give us some basic information on that.
right.
You know?
In the form of downloads, which can be very hit or miss.
Well, but there is unique downloads though, that you can see as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we got that going. So right now, our monthly unique downloads
Mm-hmm.
is averaging 192.
That's nice.
Whereas our monthly downloads is averaging 210.
So somebody's listening to it.
Oh,
Multiple
yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and it looks like, let's see here, on the episode list, let's see here. I think the most we had was one of the ones from Simon last year had like 300 and some odd downloads or something like that.
Nice.
So,
Is that still our best one?
yeah, I think so.
What was that? Honesty and snowbidding?
That one did pretty well too.
I thought that was a
Yep.
pretty good one.
Establishing pricing did pretty well. Yeah, I'm kind of looking through here. Let's see here. Honesty and snowbidding, 209 downloads.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
That's respectable.
Yeah, that's doing okay. Simon Symposium Show Day 2, Part 2, 379 downloads.
That's probably the one I talked about robots.
Probably.
Speaking of robots,
Speaking of robots and automation in the snow removal industry, man, that felt forced.
that did feel forced.
Like it felt like we had that scripted.
Yeah.
And while which is a little odd because we didn't have it scripted.
we don't script anything.
Like we moved away from scripting because it got,
That was
a
tiring.
little stiff. Yeah. And now we're all like kicked back in our chair and you're drinking your water and
Yeah, I really got to quit that.
yeah.
Trying
Wait.
to cut back.
You got to up your whiskey
I
intake.
got to up my whiskey. Yeah.
Nice. Now you're talking. So yeah, we're but that's what we're going to talk about today. Robotics, automation, how to make, one person do the work of more than one person.
I mean, isn't that really what the world's going to anymore?
It is.
Automation. How can we have machines take place of people that don't need healthcare insurance?
It's called Skynet.
What?
Skynet.
Yeah.
I mean, we might as well just form the company, put the label out there.
What, Skynet?
Yeah, it's happening.
I don't know that I want that kind of responsibility, man. And then at some point, either Arnold Schwarzenegger or who's the kid there I don't know.
Turner? Wasn't that his name? Turner?
No.
Last name? Turner?
Connor. Yeah, Sarah Connor and her son, Philip.
It's not Philip.
It wasn't Philip.
It's not Philip.
It's Sean. Sean Connor. What? John. It was John. Nicole's like, God, you guys suck. It was John Connor who's going to show up and he's going to want to shoot me. Yeah, I don't want anything to do with that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is here in 30 years, we invent time travel, and this is where we come back right now.
Nobody showed up.
No, there went that, I guess.
Man.
Guess we're not doing that.
Would have been really cool.
It would have been. And I would have probably jumped out of the window.
How awesome would that have been, though? If, you from 30 years from now would have shown up?
If it's anybody in this room, I don't think it's going to be me, bud.
You don't think you're going to make it 30 years?
No, I'm going to make it 30 years. I'm not going to invent time travel.
Oh.
Well, I'm certainly not.
Oh, I'm not making it 30 years. so it's Nicole. Nicole's going to show up in 30 years. She's still going to be.
Nicole just cheered at that.
At me dying or her doing. Hey, what were you happy about? Oh.
She's just happy. Being her happy, blissful self.
You know what's going to be cool, though? 30 years from now, she's still going to be a smoke show. It's going to be awesome. She's going to be like that long-haired old lady.
Long-haired old lady?
Yeah. Like the old ladies got super long hair and they take care of themselves. And you're like, man, that's awesome. Good for her.
You just made me think of Elvira.
Yeah, but yeah.
She's a smoke show.
Yep. Do you not know who Elvira is?
Not offhand, no.
Hold on, brother. I got you.
Okay.
Let me enlighten you.
Okay, well,
Elvira.
Meanwhile, I suppose I should talk to the people while you're looking up Elvira so we can help Brent here understand what's going on in the real world. Oh, rare. Well, I don't know that has anything to do with automation in the snow business.
Well, those are automated.
Maybe. So, anyways, yeah. So,
right.
okay. So let's say that someday down the road, the only person that shows up to go to work is Elvira, and you have to figure out how she's going to clear 94,000 square feet of sidewalks in an hour. I mean, other than the fact that she's going to walk and the snow is going to melt
Because she's
hot.
Yeah.
Right?
That could happen.
Could happen.
Why don't we have induction heaters that melt snow off sidewalks and stuff?
Because of the refreeze.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Can you mount an industrial heater onto a truck?
There are Russian trucks that have jet mounted to them that melt the snow.
That sounds really expensive.
Seems like it would be. I mean, jet fuel is just kerosene. Depends on how much snow you're melting, really.
Isn't kerosene expensive? I mean, in comparison to I guess we could really get in the weeds on that, can't we?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Union Pacific Railroad has a jet engine mounted to the front of a locomotive.
Does it just push it backwards really fast?
That's a reverse gear.
Do you know that they named it
Oh, yeah?
Air Force One?
See, I don't. Well, I guess it's not.
Is this a joke?
No,
probably-
it's true.
It's probably not in the air. I mean, ATC is probably not going to be like, what's happening over here?
Yeah, it's just a giant jet engine that blows the snow off the tracks.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Again, expensive. I mean, a turbine engine is expensive.
they're probably billing it to somebody.
Right. Your tax dollars hard at work.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad it's going to something cool at least. Sure as hell ain't going to the roads.
So we have talked about robots before, and specifically with sidewalks. But when you talk about the rising cost of plow equipment, even though it's really cool, how far are we away from robots on the parking lot or on the streets?
So that positively scares me to death. I mean, if you think about there's a whole nother level of liability involved when you've got something out there running around. I mean, we're working on a slip and fall case right now, not of our crews. This is one that we're working on as an expert, where the operator backed over somebody in a Walgreens parking lot.
No way.
Yep, backing up.
That sucks.
And the testimony of the driver is, and I quote, "Well, I figured that with all the lights on the truck, they'd get out of the way."
Come on, dude.
Not even kidding.
That's not how you do it.
That's a.
So he admitted to seeing them?
He saw. Yes. Saw
I didn't
him.
even put that together.
He saw him, kept going because with all of the lights on the truck, they figured he'd get out of the way.
I didn't even put that together that he actually saw him back there.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's a very real thing that happens, and I mean, I hope it doesn't happen to you or your crews, but that's something to consider. So now imagine if you're going to have a robot out there doing that, I mean, you'd have to have some kind of sensor on there, some type of proximity sensor or something that could sense if there was a person or vehicle that was around. And man, that sensor would have to be heated so that it would work.
But they're already delivering pizzas with,
Are they really doing that?
Yes.
What?
And they're cleaning floors with them and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So like I get the cleaning floors and I get
I don't think they do it fast, but they keep doing it. And they constantly keep doing it until the job's done.
Are they delivering pizzas with robots like around here? Because I would love.
Not around here. I've seen this out in California.
No.
The car pulls up.
So it's a gluten-free soy pizza with kale.
That sounds lovely. Not really.
It's Domino's. I don't think they have that.
I guess in California they do.
But, I mean, I've seen the videos of it. The car pulls up. You enter a code that you were given when you ordered the pizza. Door pops open. There's your food. You take the food and the car goes on.
Wait a minute. So I got to walk out of my house out to the curb? I ain't doing it.
Right.
Oh, you would totally do
I'm
it.
certainly not leaving a tip for the robot.
You would be so enamored with what just happened. You would do it over and over in the same day.
Man, I don't know.
I'd like to see it. I mean, I think that'd be cool to witness.
It would be cool to see. I don't know that I could do it repeatedly, though. And that little robot is not probably big enough to push an entire parking lot of snow.
Well, let's talk efficiency, right? So, do you guys have robot vacuums?
Yes.
No, I saw one video where the dog had left a pile, and then and the Roomba went to work not knowing it, and well, the maze that was left behind.
Yeah,
I was.
That's gross.
I have 2 dogs now. Granted, knock on wood here. The dogs haven't left piles in years,
right?
But when they would is when that friggin' robot comes out from under the couch and the dog's, oh my god, and barks and drops a Duke, and it'd be bad. I don't have anything to do with it.
So I have a robot vacuum, and I almost never use it because I find that I can sweep the floor in a quarter of the time it takes that stupid thing to run my house.
That's not the point.
But can that thing run at night?
The point.
That thing can run while you're at work. It can run while you're not there. That's the point.
Yeah, but you still have to have somebody there to quality check that thing.
I'll tell you what. I don't have an expensive one.
I don't have an expensive one either. It's not
if
good.
I put that in, just say a square room with very few obstacles, it would get it done pretty quick. Not near as quick as a human, but quick enough that if it happened during the day, what do I care?
So you come home after a day of work, you go to check on your robot, it ran up against the stool and it's stuck there.
See, there's the dog thing.
And now the rest of the room's still dirty.
I would have known that because I got a notification.
Are you going to leave the work to go home and reset your vacuum?
No.
Exactly.
Now, I will say the cheaper ones are the cheaper ones and the nicer ones are the nicer ones.
100%. Yep.
So my daughter sent me a reel that was a post driven into the center of somebody's yard with a rope tied to one side of the push mower.
You're talking about the lawnmower, yeah.
And the mower's just moving in circles.
Yep.
And each circle's a little smaller. And it's like, okay, that's a pretty cool idea, right?
If you only had a circular yard.
Exactly.
Right. But again, not applicable to snow.
Right.
And so how do you, I think that's really I think that the robotics, the future in robotics and automation is going to be, I think, limited to pedestrian areas where you don't have to worry about your robot being hit by a car. Mm-hmm. Some idiot out there doing donuts, spinning around. And I think that your levels of automation and mechanization are definitely getting out there. I mean, now you've got. Let's say you still have a manned piece of equipment, or a woe-manned piece of equipment, depending on who's running the thing. Right. You've got a side by sides, 4-wheelers. You got power brooms. You got Ventracs. You've got snow raiders. There's a lot of equipment out there that can turn one operator into 4 or 5, but they're not necessarily robotic, but the robotics are coming along.
But who's to say you can't have a machine that's autonomously controlled from another place? Like a drone.
Like a drone?
Yeah.
Can you fly your sidewalk crew in? Oh my God.
But you
think about it.
So you still have to have that guy controlling the machine.
Yeah,
now.
but now you have a guy who's not qualified to be there on site, but he's great at video games.
Oh, so everybody.
Yeah.
All these people who don't want to leave the house or get out in the cold can suddenly sit there at their computer, work a 4-hour shift plowing, and then hand it off to the next guy.
Because that same demographic can't work more than 4 hours without getting all whiny about it.
Yeah.
Like that idea of an 8-hour workday is just insane to them.
No, I got to admit, I can't imagine plowing on a computer for 4 hours. That sounds awful.
I don't know, man. Have you ever watched like Minecraft? I can't watch my kids play Minecraft for more than 20 minutes without losing my mind, and they can do it for days.
That's a good case in point. I mean,
I
would rather be building something physically, the kids would rather be just pushing buttons and building something.
They want to build something in a
make
digital
world.
space.
Yeah.
Right.
You just got to make sure that there's some safety precautions out there that they don't turn this into Grand Theft Auto. And
I mean, if we're
next thing you know, you got hookers out there stabbing people and running around with your snow removal robot.
Well, if we're going down that road, then you can take a look at the simulation industry of gaming right now, right? So you have the simulation aspect of gaming, which these guys are building full 18-wheeler cockpits in their gaming room, and they're surrounded by screens, and you wouldn't be able to tell they're not in an actual truck.
I just saw something with that where that simulator looked awful damn real.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen that with like flight simulators and stuff like that.
Exactly,
Where guys spend their whole time online just pretending to be the tower.
Yeah. They're just ATC.
Yeah.
I do not get that at all.
I think it's a
if they're
community
willing
thing.
to do that
Right.
for fun, maybe they'll plow snow for pay.
There's literally a game. What is it? Lawn mowing simulator?
Seriously.
Yes. You cut grass.
People, get out of the house. Now.
Like, you can make money doing that, brother. Get up. Go outside.
Really need to go outside.
So you've got to get the piece of equipment to the property.
Right.
So, I think that to me, what makes some sense is you take a Sprinter van, right? You drive to the property, the back door is open, the ramps come out, the kid sits inside, runs the robot from the nice warm van.
Like an FBI van?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly. Or Bad Boys 2, that little remote control car is like, come on, nobody sees me.
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
sees me. Because, everybody lounging around the pool and cube is not going to notice some random, whatever. It's fine.
I think you'd probably end up having, on large sites, dedicated equipment that just stays there and has docking stations that when they're not used or they need charged or whatever their propulsion is, they just pull in and they're
That's
done.
what I thought, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That makes a lot of sense now that they're putting so many docking stations out there or charging stations for the electric cars.
So the robotics company isn't targeting the snow removal vendors. They're targeting the property owners. They say, hey, you can take care of your own sidewalks by this piece of equipment here.
Maybe.
Yeah. Now you don't need a contractor. Now you need a manufacturer. Wow, we went down a long trail there.
There's a lot to talk about here.
Hey, robotics manufacturers, we're at Swinter Snow Talk on Twitter or podcast at swintergroup.com, where we happily accept your monetary rewards for our great ideas here. But
on the same technology as like the Roomba, you could even map out your walks. You know what I mean? So that the machine
you could call it the
knows
Snowba.
And that's actually a great case in point. Like I have a cheap one, so the room is not mapped out. It randomly goes for an X amount of time until it's decided it's done. If you spend more money, it'll map out the room, and that way it knows it's hit 100% of it. But then again, then someone's going to know the exact layout of my house, and then I can't allow that.
You know what the most bizarre thing is you've got like 100 kids and you have a robot to vacuum.
It's useless with 4 kids.
Yeah.
Because hair ties, stuff left on the ground. Lo and behold, Lord help me if it goes into one of their bedrooms.
That's fair.
I have
It'll
to
just bounce against the door all
when
day.
I take the tray out to empty it, and it's impressive how much dirt and dust it picks up, because the kids are also in charge of sweeping, so therefore the robot vacuum is needed to quality control their efforts.
Fair.
I have to sift through the soil to make sure I didn't pick up anything actually needed.
Fair. All right.
So
how does then on sidewalks, so when you're clearing sidewalks, you want to clear the sidewalk. down the face of the curb line and 18 to 20 inches out into the parking area, so the plows don't throw the snow back up on the sidewalk. Right. Everybody knows this.
Mm-hmm.
The robot is going to have to figure that out,
or you have to tell it.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
It's just a code.
I don't know.
Yeah, you have the robots all working in tandem.
You map it out, or have that operator.
How many times do you have to tell a guy to do something before he does it right?
Depends on the guy.
Yeah.
Me?
Assuming the dumbest one.
Me, you just got to think
get
about it, and I just get it. I'm like, man, I got this. And then you're like, wow, what a good job.
Right.
But
most everybody else.
the robot, you code, say, you're responsible for this out to here. And it does it.
Yeah. Well, but it still has to know.
Complain.
But it has to know that it did a good job. So if its plow gets stuck in the up position and it doesn't notice that and it just keeps driving around, it just puts tire tracks in the snow because it's not checking its own work. I mean, I'm sure you could put you could figure. I mean, if the plow's up, it would know that, but
right.
It's not going to understand snowpack. Hey, I couldn't clear it down the pavement.
I bet you there's a way to solve that problem.
Yeah. So somebody with a little bit more coding experience or something.
Yeah, I bet you there's sensors you could have on the machine that checks the snow depth beneath it and every single possible scenario you can come up with.
This thing's going to be $50,000 by the time we're done with it, boys.
Well, no, it's just like everything else. You start out X and then you just keep. The world is.
So who funds that? I mean, how do you? I mean, think of the R&D money that's involved in something like that.
Well, you'd have to, it would have to have. It would have to be from somebody that already has that established and has the money for that R&D, or get a grant from something. I don't know.
Is that a thing?
Grants?
Yeah. Can you like get us a grant and we'll
some
go
of
to
the
work?
grants that are
Maybe.
out there are retarded. So surely there's something
You can get a grant for being left-handed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can
Seriously?
come up with something. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Are you left-handed?
No.
I am now.
My left leg's just a little shorter than my right, though.
Oh, that'll happen.
Not really.
Okay.
You know what it might be? I don't know. I've never measured. I try to avoid measuring. Never mind.
Alrighty.
Oh man. Okay. So robots are out there. If you're looking into that, I mean, go jump online and YouTube's got stuff on robotics that are in designed for pushing snow, and the internet's got some pretty neat stuff out there. We were at SIMA last year, and they had some robots that were there that were really, really pretty cool. So
the construction industry is already using remote controlled dozers and high lifts and stuff like that.
Oh, they've been doing that for years. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if they can do that and do a good job,
well, I think
that's probably not too hard to reapply that technology.
Yeah, but I think a huge factor, though, is that in the construction industry, you've got a construction site, which is for the most part void of pedestrian traffic. I mean, you're out doing snow removal services, and you've got Ellie Mae that's got 9-inch heels that has to go to the store today.
Right.
Walking through the parking lot on her phone, not paying any attention to what's going on around her, or on the and not just Ellie Mae. You've got anybody that's doing that very same thing, walking through the parking lot, not paying any attention to what's going on around him, and the next thing you know, they get smoked by some robot, pushing snow, and it's like, yeah, man, I don't know. And I mean, I think that's the biggest difference. I mean, imagine putting a dozer loose on a Walmart parking lot at 3:00 in the afternoon on December 23rd when it's snowing.
Well, what if that's the thing? What if the whole idea of what snow removal is changes? Snow removal services only happen in the overnight. Parking lots are closed to any traffic in the overnight.
I think attorneys are not going to let that happen. Well, and actually laws, I mean, a lot of states have got laws where the property owner is mandated to mitigate any unsafe conditions on site. Mm-hmm. So if it snows and you're not there trying to remove that site, you are legally on the hook for it.
Billions of dollars at play, seems like laws tend to change in the favor of those who stand the most to profit.
You know what's really bizarre about that is how different laws are from state by state, and particularly relative to snow. I mean, and what you have to do and what you don't have to do. I mean, it's really interesting seeing how things are so much different just from Missouri to Illinois.
Yeah.
In things like that, and then you start getting into the Dakotas, and you get over to Colorado, and you move your way up to the Northeast. I mean, there are a lot of there's a lot of laws that make a lot of sense, and there's a lot of them that just don't make any sense at all. But and it does make you wonder, to your point. I mean, how money played into that? Like, how did they land on this set for statute of limitations.
Which trip
whatever.
out of town paid for this law?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, man, robotics, mechanization.
Yeah.
It's coming.
It's getting spooky.
It's going to be pretty cool when it does, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
You don't think
see.
so?
Oh, it could go either way.
Yeah.
You know, could make our lives easier, could make our lives harder, could get more expensive, but it's going to be more expensive.
Like indoor plumbing and, wired electricity and the washing machine.
I could go without
All of it?
all of it.
I think some of that I could go without. I don't know about all of it, but some of it I
not
could.
permanently.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, here we are again. This has been good. Talking winter with Swinter.
That was a good one.
You know what? That felt good.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to put this squarely on Brent. Thanks, buddy.
Nice job, bud.
Well done. Man, we're almost out of bumper time. We got to run. Love you all. See you. Bye.